Whoa, tell me you saw the good news from the Bank of International Settlements regarding cryptocurrencies and their recommendations on how much to hold. And oh yeah, we're going to clear up some things because there's some misconceptions floating around. And you want the source? I'm going to have the actual documented listed down below, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. But you know the deal, right? Your comments come first. You know who came first? Frankie. Well done by a mere matter of seconds. Andrew Butcher with a really great question says, if banks are recommended to hold minimal XRP or crypto, a high price would be suitable, no? And he says, hopium. I know. No, it's not hopium. Part of the problem is there's so much misinformation going on out there. Heat map, screw it. Let's talk about some of the misconceptions, all right? First things first, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. Bank for International Settlements unveils framework for banks holding XRP. There's some big things that came out of this. Let's read. The BIS stipulates that a bank's total exposure to all Group 2 assets cannot exceed 1% of its Tier 1 capital. Tier 1 capital represents a bank's core capital acting as primary financial buffer. So if a bank has $1 trillion in capital, guess what? They're only allowed to hold 10 billion worth of crypto. Now, of that 10 billion, they only can have 5%. So only like 5% of it could be one thing. They have to split it up. They can't go like 100% of that 10 billion into one crypto. They would have to just divvy up the money. Now, there's some big misconceptions here, and this is where things are getting absolutely messy, and I'm kind of pissed at how certain people are bringing this up. Ahem. Here's the deal. They give you all of this, all right? And let me share a few things with you that I found of very importance. It says, after considering the feedback from stakeholders on the consultation, the committee has now finalized the crypto asset exposures. This document sets out the final standard which the committee has agreed to implement on January 1st of 2026. So they talk about the structure, how that's in changes relative. They go through a bunch of them. This is where they talk about the stage 2 assets, okay? Would be when a bank's exposure to an individual Group 2 crypto asset is greater than 5% of the Group 2 crypto asset exposure. So they're basically just giving you the limits, okay? Which is what I shared with you here. The problem is, though, is guess what? They don't talk about XRP at all. Look, you type in XRP up here at the top on the search. XRP does not come up. Look, 0 out of 0. Watch what happens when I start putting crypto in. Oh, see how it says 192 of them and it starts highlighting it. So even if I don't fill out the whole word crypto, it's showing me any letters of CRY, right? It won't even show the whole word. So again, I'll put XRP in. 0 times was XRP directly mentioned. Now, XRP does fall into the Group 2 crypto assets. Group 2 crypto assets by the BIS are considered crypto assets that are not backed by anything. I just want you to think about that, because a lot of those hopium channels out there were telling you, oh, XRP backed by gold, XRP, this XLM backed by silver. No, the BIS is telling you that this is a Group 2 asset, and those Group 2 assets are ones that have no backing. They are not backed by gold. Things like XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XLM, you get my point. They go over the press release of crypto assets. They give a very good summary right here. They talk about third-party risk. Part of the reason why they're doing this is because of the problems with FTX. Now watch what happens here, okay? So I'm going to put in FTX. Nothing shows up. So they don't even mention exchanges like FTX. They mention risk. So there's a lot of people jumping to conclusions with this. And what's interesting about this is in this document, they talk about the reason they want to do it is they don't want too much risk being put on to banks. Where if banks are going to hold crypto assets, they're only allowed to hold 1% representative of their greater holdings. So they're really trying to minimize the amount of damage that crypto can do because of its volatility. They talk about liquidity in here. It's a really good read. It does get a little dry near at the end, but if you read maybe like the first like 4 6 pages of actual text, not the introduction, but like of actual text, I think you'll get a really good read out of this and see that there's a lot of people out there jumping to conclusions, trying to link stuff. But you know what, though? I think this is good news overall. And the reason I think this is good news, because this is the Bank of International Settlements going, look, if you want to get into crypto, cool, you can do it, but here's some guidelines for you. That's way more than what we've had in the last several years. We're seeing more and more institutions, more governments out there, more political parties being crypto friendly. You can totally tell that when we start talking about adoption might not be the use of the products on these chains. Adoption might just be acceptance of crypto. And right now the BIS is saying, hey, look, it doesn't matter what the crypto is. We're cool with you holding it. Just don't hold a lot, because in case it goes belly up, we don't want you getting burned. So what does this mean for XRP directly? Well, it means the same thing for XRP as it does for Bitcoin, as it does for ETH, as it does for Sol. Look, they're cool with people owning crypto, and I think that's a huge positive. But the negative was all those people out there, all those articles, all that clickbait junk linking XRP directly, where I've seen taglines saying, banks say to own 5% XRP. And that's why I brought up Andrew's comment in the beginning. Because what Andrew was talking about was saying, hey, look, if banks are saying they recommend you hold X amount of crypto, well, then what does this mean for XRP? And he says specifically, if banks are recommended to hold minimal XRP of crypto, a high price would be suitable. Again, it has nothing to do with the price, because as we've seen, there's plenty more that it's going to be able to go into the circulating supply. And with banks having a capped limit on how much they can buy, doesn't mean they're going to necessarily use only XRP. Some banks are going to jump into Solana. And they were even told, hey, look, the most you could own of one crypto in your entire portfolio is 5% of it. So they're really limiting how much banks can get individual exposure on. So I want you to think about those principles and think, okay, maybe not the best news for XRP directly, but for the entire crypto market, if you wanted to pump the old shoddy and take a spread, dude, this is really great news. Now I'm about ready to go play some basketball and lift a little bit of weights Willie Beeman style. I'm still effing around recovering from my last race, and guess what, everyone? On Monday, official training starts up for the 100K. Go get some. Fuck yeah. America, titties, bumblies. It's going to be so fucking cool because I am doing a 100K race in the mountains on a brand new course. Fuck the bears. We're going to be running in the Appalachian, bitches. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of elevation gain. A lot of shitty tree stumps and roots on the ground. I'm getting the chills thinking about it. I'm also getting the chills thinking about my wife coming home early on Friday. I got to get going.